Something is disturbing the force. Something demonic. But the only way we're going to trace back to where the evil began, we have to find out what the demon possessed. It could be a person, a car, a video game console, a cup. It could be anything. Which, it's easy for us because he turned himself into a $100 sound machine. So unfortunately for us, I don't have no knowledge into the demonic spirit world. Trying to find a demonic entity in this world is like trying to find a slime spawn chunk in Minecraft without any mods. So I thought I would listen to a specialist on YouTube. Her name is Taylor Alicia, and she specializes in demonic things. She was there to get the scoop when it comes to the whole Labubu possessions. And as of right now, she's on the front lines finding out the deep lore of the 6-7 meme. Siphoning the lore between the 6 and the 7. In today's video, we're just gonna look at the sound machine and how to detect an entity through an object.
Could use a little more sleep. That's why we created Hatch Baby Rest, a nightlight and sound machine controlled by your phone with hues that promote healthy circadian rhythms and white noise proven to aid sleep. Fully customizable and programmable to your child's sleep schedule.
But recently, my Hatch machine decided that it had a mind of its own. Many different people have come out saying that they have heard voices in their Hatch sound machines whenever they are trying to go to sleep, or they hear it in their kids' rooms as they're watching on the baby monitor, that they feel like they can hear a conversation happening, but they can't quite understand the words.
Alright, so do you have like a clip of like what this entity like sounds like? Because once I can ID the entity is in this baby box, I'm gonna put them in a sack and I'm gonna beat them with a bat.
About 3.5 years ago, I started to hear things coming out of the sound machine. It didn't matter which sound I was using. Every single sound, I was hearing some kind of murmuring voices, something, but it felt inherently evil.
So do you have like any proof of this happening? Did you like record it? Like, don't you have like a phone you can use?
Hatch is demonic. If you have a hatch, you need to throw it away right now.
Hi.
Ah! Female interaction! I swear, lady, don't do that again. Got me acting like a fool now. What did she mean by hi? But in all seriousness, there's been a lot of people claiming that their sound devices or sound machines or whatever are possessed by Satan or some demon, right? Speaking sweet world words while you sleep at night. Now, if you want me to really snap you back to reality, I don't really think it's spewing words. What I think is going on here is knowing they have like an actual sound machine that's creating sounds, and it's like a new sound that's infecting their actual atmosphere, I think is enough to make it where they start hallucinating. To be honest with you, I do it all the time. Every time when I'm trying to sleep in a room that has like no sound to it, or it's just dead silent, I always think that there's something talking, or someone's in the room talking. But instead of like blaming it on demons, I usually just say, oh, I'm just really fucking retarded. That's what I think it is, and, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, I'm not the professional here, you know, but that's my logical explanation. Oh yeah, the guy throwing the sound machine in the trash can, why not just send it back to Amazon? Because, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, that thing's worth $100, man. That's more than enough, Hunter, to make me dig back in that trash can and pull it right back out. That chunk of change is almost the same equivalent of a KFC meal for 4.
Of the trusted support system that you can turn to whenever you need it.
What if the item these mothers are bringing into their baby's room to soothe them was quietly whispering something sinister when they stepped away?
Alright, let's be honest, right? If this thing was actually spewing something sinister, it can't be as worse as Roblox moderation.
Talk of a girl sharing her surprisingly dark experience with the Hatch sound machine. Many others are coming forward claiming they've heard voices, instructions, and messages they couldn't explain as well coming from this machine. Hatch sound machine released, obviously it is Halloween time. They want to do a Halloween themed commercial. So I want to bring your attention to that. Here is the first one.
It's here.
The season where we dabble in the dark arts, set the right light vibes, rest like a small Victorian child for bed, and regulate our circadian rhythm with restorative phone-free sleep. Hallelujah, it's time to sleep.
So people believe that there's a demon in their sound machine because the company wanted to make a Halloween ad. I think that's kind of the most stupidest shit that I've ever heard in my entire life. How do you come to that conclusion?
Girl also pointed out, which I didn't even notice when I first watched this commercial, is the mocking of hallelujah by calling it fallelujah. People that aren't Christians will roll their eyes at that and laugh at that and call us crazy for even pointing out something like that. When you discover the truth that the devil only hates one name and that's Jesus Christ, you start noticing how recurring and how often this type of stuff goes on. But okay, before I show you the next commercial, I know we have done a video on demonic commercials before, but guys,
Is this the reason why everything's not offensive anymore? Like this whole kind of look that everything looks just bland and like unexpired? Because you'll have like church Karens just sniffing through that whole content nook and cranny just to see if there's any devil worship of any kind. Is this why we just can't have nice things anymore? I still just can't really wrap my whole head around how do we go from A to B without no proof.
Is this dark? Don't ignore that and skip to the timestamp I have on the screen. But here we go. Here is the commercial that they put together.
The human body can't survive without sleep. 24 hours, more than 3 days. Psychosis.
I understand it's Halloween, and I totally get that. You know, people that live in the world, they don't see anything wrong with this. They really don't find this commercial to be that crazy from seeing other people's perspective. But obviously, as Christians, I don't know about you, but whoever is behind this product and put together this commercial, you guys lost me. I will never purchase anything from Hatch Sound Machine after just seeing these commercials.
Yep, this is the whole reason why we can't have nice things. It's a fucking sound machine. Do you think when your kid like goes to sleep, you think once you leave the room it's gonna start playing corn going like hong baka hong kaka hima? I thought, no, we live in a digital age, we wouldn't have this kind of argument. But here we are. I honestly think this is way much worse than like the news media blaming violent video games for mass shootings. It's just really dumb people blaming on something that they just have no clue on how it works.
But this isn't even the half of it. Take a look at what this girl had to say that had me with my hand covering my mouth. Take a listen.
I posted a video of me throwing away my Hatch sound machine, and it has sparked a lot of controversy in the comments. People are confused why I did, and a lot of people are telling me I'm in religious psychosis.
I believe they're right, by the way.
So let's talk about it. After seeing both of these videos, I was greatly disturbed because my daughter has been sleeping with the Hatch sound machine in her room every single night of her life. And recently I've actually lost the control of controlling it from my cell phone. Usually there's an app that you have that controls the Hatch sound machine. You can turn it on, off, change the volume and the sound.
Did she not try to like uninstall and reinstall the app again? You know, the thing about phone apps in general, right? It's kind of like everything else when it comes to like software and, you know, just coding in general. You know, there's a lot of bugs with it. You know, it's not 100% correct all the time. Like, for example, like I was trying to watch a YouTube video one time, and I was sitting there trying to watch it, but it kept on dimming the video all the way down to darkness. And how I fixed that is I got off the app, I restarted the app, and then reopened it. And it made it go back to big brightness mode. Did I sit there and call YouTube demonic because it was dimming it down to where I can't see? No.
But recently, my Hatch machine decided that it had a mind of its own and literally was shutting itself on and off whenever it wanted to, changing the sound, and I had no control over it in the app anymore. Many different people have come out saying that they have heard voices in their Hatch sound machines whenever they are trying to go to sleep, or they hear it in their kids' rooms as they're watching on the baby monitor, that they feel like they can hear a conversation happening, but they can't quite understand the words. No matter what sound they chose in the sound machine, they would still hear these conversations. And one of my close friends actually called me about this a few months back and said, hey, I feel really weird about my son's Hatch sound machine. I literally can hear people talking in it. A lot of people have tried to explain this phenomenon as a auditory hallucination or radio frequency interference between radios that your neighbors might have or that you might have in your home.
Well, yeah, because what else could it be? And like I said, the one thing that I find really weird about this is, like, this is happening to, like, everybody's sound machines, but yet no one's just never thought about just taking their camera out and recording it. I get this, like, just same deja vu when it comes to, like, just aliens, right? Because someone will be like, holy crap, dude, like, I saw, like, a fucking UFO flying saucer, right? And I'll sit there and I'll be like, well, did you take a picture of it? And he's like, no. Like, extraordinary claims requires extraordinary evidence. And I'm sorry, ladies, I'm just not buying it. I honestly think most of these women that are, like, hearing the strange things from the, from the sound machine have huffed too many crystals to understand reality. And that's not me making fun of their religion or anything. I'm just saying, if it was me, what I would have done was probably restarted the app, maybe uninstalled it if that didn't work. And if that didn't work and it kept on making these weird noises, I'd just, ship it back and get another one. I don't know, I feel like demonic possession is, like, low on the bottom when it comes to what I would think is going on with a sound machine. The only way I would ever convince myself that it was demonic, if it started floating and, like, doing, like, a sloppy toppy McTwist, while also, like, puking up ectoplasm or some shit, then I'd be like, okay, this thing might be haunted.
But the weird thing about it is that Hatch themselves has admitted to practicing divination to create their sounds. On their webpage, they actually state that they believe that sleep is a ritual and that we should have a nightly ritual to fall asleep to. On their blog post about making the sounds for the Hatch sound machine, they claim incorporating other sounds can give your brain something to latch onto.
So wait, so different sounds give you different things? So technically I could probably have a succubus. Now, I thought all this ritual shit was all a bunch of phony baloney, but I might have to put like 4% stocks into this one. Can a succubus shapeshift? Because if that's the case, I'm gonna make mine look like Scarlett Johansson.
Zodiac sounds create a full-on experience that matches the energy of each sun sign, and they guarantee that your zodiac sign will appreciate the sounds that they make, and you will in turn sleep better because of it. I just want to let you know that I am not attacking a person in this video. I am simply trying to expose the truth, which is that Satan is the ruler of this world, and he is going to con you into believing that stuff is not that serious, even though it is.
And this video went so viral that the Hatch sound machine actually issued a response. Because guys, it seriously wasn't even just Christians that were coming out speaking about the Hatch sound machine. It's been a lot of people across the board, and this is the response that the Hatch sound machine gave.
Hatch has put out a statement after the recent backlash from their Halloween ad where some people are saying they're demonic. It's come to our attention that our recent Halloween ad may have unnerved some people. To be clear, we did not imply our devices are literally possessed by dark forces. We're simply trying to show how our phones haunt our souls, steal our sleep, and flood our eyes with unholy blue light. Really different thing. Hope that clears it up. In the meantime, here's what we're doing to address the issue immediately. Introducing the Hatch repossession program. If you're unsatisfied with your Hatch device in any way, including if you suspect there's a tiny demon talking to you at night, send it back. For every Hatch repossessed, we'll offer it to someone who's desperate for a restorative and free sleep. If you would like to receive a limited edition repossessed Hatch, comment repossess me down below.
If you're a Christian and this doesn't raise any alarms to you, being told to repossess me, not
like, you can't make this shit up. So, like, when a guy takes your car away because you forgot to pay on the car bill and he, like, tows the car away, is that technically him repossessing the vehicle? Or do you think it's, like, some kind of, like, Five Nights at Freddy's lore, like, he killed someone and he, like, took the soul and possessed it into your, like, 2002 Hyundai.
Not even to mention, guys, how heavily pushed this product is on children specifically. And whether or not this is true about the Hatch sound machine, it is really interesting because it's something that we are putting next to our beds and allowing it to speak to us and to play music or play sounds when our guard is down. And what does the Bible say? It stresses the importance of guarding our hearts and our minds.
Now, I don't know too much about the whole Bible thing because I haven't read too much about it, but when it says guard our hearts and minds, I would think that would mean don't let your heart be broken. Don't let other people take advantage of your heart. And when I think of mind, I always think of just like staying pure. Like, you know, keep your like mind healthy. Like, don't let it corrode. Guard your mind and heart and keep it healthy. But, you know, that's just my interpretation on what was said.
I think living as Christians in this age of technology, we need to be more careful than ever of what we are bringing into our homes, what we're allowing our children to listen to, what we are allowing our children to watch on the television. I mean, most parents put their children in front of the television because they want to break. So because of that, so many parents aren't watching what their children are watching. And the show may seem innocent, but the second the parent steps away, there's messages and a demonic agenda being shared secretly and hidden in the show that your child is watching.
Now, what she said right here was like kind of based. I don't think kids that are at the age of like 1 in 10 should really be talking about like anything like LGBTQ. I mean, if we were going to add it into like some kind of thing, I would think it would be perfect in like sex ed or something like that. But I think parents should have like the control over if they should tell their, you know, their kids that stuff or not. And I don't think it's up to like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon or these like Steven Universe like shows to tell kids like what it is. They're just made to be entertaining at the end of the day, not send a message. Like I said, she's kind of right when it comes to you basically have to control what your kids watch. But is it really like demonic? I mean, I don't know. I don't think so. It's just people with just a different opinion, I think.
Let me know what you think in the comments about the Hatch sound machine. I'm really interested, and I will see you guys in the comments. I love you, and see you for our next video. God bless.
Well, that was a bummer. That's the last time I go to a specialist. But in all honesty, my conclusion is, I think a lot of this is psychological phony baloney. I'm sorry, I can't get over the fact that we went from A to B with no proof, and I'm just supposed to expect that this sound machine is demonic of some sort. To me, it seemed like it was just people who were kind of blinded by their religion and didn't really stop to think if this is actually true or not. And I want to make this clear again, I'm not trying to make fun of a religion or like point like a graph like this religion's bad because of this, you know. I believe that if you're into a religion and it brings you inner peace, then I'm happy for you, you know. I'm glad that you found something that brings meaning to your life. But I feel like if I was Christian, I still wouldn't believe that this thing was demonic. A whole lot of that is mainly no proof, and if you really think about it, it really doesn't make no sense. Like, why a sound machine? Like, to me, that seems like a real, like, off-the-wall thing to possess. I don't know, man. If I was like a demon, I think I would possess something that actually has hands. But, you know, that's just me. But that's pretty much it. If you want me to talk about the 6-7 meme video that you made, then, I guess if we reach like 20 likes, I'll do that one too. But with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, skilly bobbity boop. I'm out.